You're challenging the media gatekeepers and the corporate censors to bring the facts straight to the American people, and that's what you're doing. You're going right to the people.
Welcome to Faith Nation. I'm John Jessup.
And I'm Jenna Browder. President Trump playing host at the White House today at a summit on social media. The invitation list, including conservative voices like the Heritage Foundation and internet personalities, some known for pushing conspiracy theories.
Not invited, though, some of the biggest names in the social sphere like Facebook and Twitter. The president is a frequent critic of tech companies censoring conservative viewpoints. He took a dig at them and the media today, tweeting, "The fake news is not as important or as powerful as social media." Today, CBN News political analyst David Brody spoke with one of the invitees to the summit. Take a look.
Joining us now, the Vice President of Communications for the Heritage Foundation, Rob Bluey, who will be at today's summit. Rob, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Thank you, David.
Well, what's the goal? What do you hope to kind of get out of this and the takeaway at the end of all of this, Rob?
Number one, I'd like to hear some of the other examples of bias from some of the other participants who will be at the White House today. And secondly, I think it's an opportunity to get conservatives together, convene this meeting, and hopefully talk about some solutions. And I hope those solutions don't involve the government coming in and stepping in, because I think that's probably a heavy-handed role for the government to play when it comes to, addressing some of the concerns that will be talked about at today's summit.
For sure. There is one thing you just mentioned about bias. What about examples that the Heritage Foundation, the Daily Signal, obviously part of the Heritage Foundation, that you have experienced or that folks over there have seen? Can you give some examples and maybe something you might want to share with the president as well?
Well, we sure do have examples, David, and I expect if I'm given the opportunity to plan to share them with the president today. I think the most notable example is the Daily Signal published a video last year with a pediatrician talking about the dangers of giving puberty blockers to kids. The video went viral on Facebook. In fact, it reached 70 million views when all of a sudden it disappeared. And we took our case to Facebook. We said, why did you take this down off of your platform? It took Facebook a little while to get back to us, but eventually they did restore the video and apologized for doing that. But more recently, David, we had a colleague of mine who was on Twitter using it, was accused of hateful conduct on Twitter. We said, this can't possibly be hateful conduct. What are you talking about? And it took about a week, but Twitter eventually restored his account and apologized to him. And I think that in both of these cases, it was because of the content that we as conservatives believe in.
I want to ask you, Rob, a little bit about this list. The media has made a big deal about extremists. That's what they put in. They put it in quotes. Extremists attending this White House social media summit. Obviously, Heritage Foundation. They don't mention you guys, but there are others on that list that they think are considered extremists. What do you make of that and trying to be lumped in with all of that?
Well, it's no surprise to hear that a media that typically hates Donald Trump trying to position this in a way that would have negative effects in terms of some of the attendees. Look, I mean, I can't speak to all of them, and I don't even frankly know who's going to be there. I'll find out as the summit kicks off, to be honest with you, David. But I can say this. I mean, as the Heritage Foundation, we're proud of the fact that we are the #1 ranked think tank in the world for our best use of the internet.
I know there's concern about how Google and others on the internet mess with the algorithms to mess up conservatives, and that leads to bias. Can you explain a little bit about that?
That's certainly a big factor, and I expect it to come up today. President Trump has said that, that's one of his primary concerns about Google. What it means is when you type in a search question to Google, Google will have an algorithm that gives you the answer. And if you don't have conservative sources or you have biased sources that are coming back, chances are you're influencing public opinion and people's perspective on certain issues. So that is a concern that a big tech company could employ when it comes to search results.
Rob Bluey with the Heritage Foundation. Have fun over there at the White House Social Media Summit. Thanks, Rob.